In Korea, through its hidden gems. Mama, the ultimate K-pop festival for global fans. Find your star in a feast of trendy music and electrifying performances. And now, the whole world enjoys it together.
U.S. President Donald Trump says Washington has had very good talks with Iran and suggested the chance of reaching a deal is high. Iran says it's reviewing the U.S. proposal to end the war and that it'll share its position with Pakistani mediators after consultations. The damaged Korean vessel that caught fire in the Strait of Hormuz earlier this week is expected to arrive at Dubai port as early as today. Authorities plan to begin a full investigation into the cause of an unexplained explosion after the vessel docks. Following North Korea's constitutional revision that strengthens Kim Jong-un's nuclear authority and status, the Blue House says it's reviewing the changes while maintaining its policy of peaceful coexistence on the Korean peninsula. U.S. President Donald Trump says talks with Iran are moving in a positive direction and suggested a deal could be reached within a week. Reports also say Tehran is considering a 14-point MOU to end the war, which includes the transfer of highly enriched uranium to the United States. Our Kim Jong-un starts us off.
U.S. President Donald Trump said Wednesday that talks with Iran are progressing well and that the chance of reaching a deal is high. Speaking to reporters at the White House, Trump reaffirmed Washington's long-standing position that Tehran should not possess nuclear weapons. He also said that Iran had agreed to abandon nuclear ambitions, a claim that Iran has not yet confirmed.
In the case of Iran, we're not going to let Iran have a nuclear weapon. We're not going to let that happen, and we won't let that happen.
He added that the United States will see whether Iran can make a deal that is satisfactory to Washington, and said the situation is very much under control. CNN reported on the same day that Washington and Tehran are discussing a possible MOU aimed at ending the war. According to the report, a one-page proposal currently under internal discussion includes a temporary halt to Iran's uranium enrichment program, the unfreezing of Iranian assets, and guarantees for security in the Strait of Hormuz. Trump also told reporters that any deal would require Tehran to transfer its stockpile of highly enriched uranium to the United States and shut down its underground nuclear facilities. Iran said it is still reviewing the U.S. proposal. A foreign ministry spokesperson quoted by Iran's ISNA news agency said Tehran will relay its official position to Pakistani mediators after internal consultations. But the spokesperson dismissed reports that a final agreement is close, calling some of the media coverage speculative. Trump said the deal could be finalized before his planned trip to China next week, but warned that military action could resume if the negotiations fall through. Kim Jong-un, Arirang News.
Korean shipping firm says its bulk carrier Damu, which caught fire following an explosion in the Strait of Hormuz earlier this week, is expected to arrive at Dubai port as early as Thursday. A full investigation into the cause of the explosion will begin after the vessel docks. Our Lee Seung-jae has more.
A South Korean-operated bulk carrier stranded in the Strait of Hormuz for more than 2 months is now being towed toward Dubai after an engine room explosion and fire left the vessel disabled at sea on Monday. The ship's owner, said it contracted a company in the United Arab Emirates to tow the Namu, with the ship expected to arrive at Dubai port as early as Thursday. Once docked, authorities will begin a full investigation into the cause of the unexplained explosion and fire. The investigation is also expected to examine claims made by U.S. President Donald Trump that the ship may have acted independently inside the restricted area near the Strait of Hormuz. denied those allegations, stating that the ship had been waiting near the control line for restrictions to be lifted, but was not within the expanded control zone.
From the shipping company's perspective, safety is guaranteed only when Iran clearly demonstrates it will not attack. Therefore, they do not immediately attempt passage when such assurances are unclear.
The company also noted that hundreds of vessels, including 4 operated by HMM, were in the area at the time, making any unilateral movement unlikely. South Korea's Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries plans to dispatch investigators, including officials from the Korea Maritime Safety Tribunal, to determine the exact cause of the accident. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
Korea's National Assembly is to vote on a constitutional amendment proposal during a plenary session this afternoon. The amendment, backed by 6 parties, including the ruling Democratic Party, would strengthen safeguards regarding martial law declarations. Its preamble would also highlight pro-democracy movements. However, the amendment's passage requires a 2/3 majority in the 286-seat assembly, and with the main opposition People Power Party opposing the proposal as a politically motivated decision ahead of local elections, this may prevent its passage. PPP lawmakers may even boycott the entire plenary session. If the plenary session goes as planned, lawmakers are expected to take up around 100 bipartisan bills during the session. The Blue House has responded to constitutional changes made in North Korea as the regime has made clear its posture towards the South and has reinforced the status and nuclear authority of Kim Jong-un. Our Oh Soo-young has the details.
South Korea's presidential office says it is reviewing North Korea's newly revised constitution after Pyongyang removed references to peaceful reunification and codified Kim Jong-un's nuclear authority for the first time. The Blue House said on Thursday it would comprehensively assess the revisions while pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence on the Korean peninsula. According to the revised text disclosed during a unification ministry briefing in Seoul, North Korea has deleted references to peaceful reunification, great national unity, and the complete victory of socialism. It also added a territorial clause defining North Korea as bordering China and Russia to the north and South Korea to the south. But the constitution does not specify maritime boundary lines, such as the disputed northern limit line. The revisions reflect Kim's two-states doctrine, introduced 3 years ago, recasting inter-Korean ties as relations between separate states, rather than one nation awaiting reunification. Kim's power was also expanded explicitly. The State Affairs Commission chairman is now defined as North Korea's head of state and placed before parliament in the constitutional order. He can appoint or dismiss key officials and veto laws and state decisions if they are deemed not to serve state development or the demands of the people. At the same time, parliament's formal power to remove the State Affairs Commission chairman was deleted. And most significantly, the revised constitution explicitly gives the State Affairs Commission chairman command authority over North Korea's nuclear forces, with the ability to delegate nuclear use authority to the state's nuclear command structure. More broadly, the revisions signify a shift in state identity. By scaling back references to the legacies of former leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il and writing Kim Jong-un's own people-first governing principle into the preamble, the constitution further cements the North Korean system around its current leader. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.
An appeals court has sentenced former Prime Minister Han Duck-soo to 15 years in prison for playing a key role in the martial law declaration on December 3, 2024. That's 8 years shorter than the 23-year prison term handed down by a lower court. The Seoul High Court on Thursday found Han guilty of involvement in former President Yoon Suk-yeol's brief imposition of martial law by setting up the outward appearance of a cabinet meeting that facilitated the declaration. The court also found him guilty of signing a post-dated martial law decree and later requesting its destruction. Han's legal team says it plans to appeal. Parenting is being reimagined by the younger generations. For many parents today, the path to raising a child now begins not at home, but on the trails, where small steps and shared strength create something deeper than care. Our Cho Young-in tells us more.
Children take careful steps on their own while parents carry younger babies up the mountain in carriers. Parents often check on their babies through small mirrors attached to the carriers, ensuring they're safe and comfortable. Along the way, parents encourage one another, creating a supportive atmosphere.
My baby weighs about 15 kilograms, so he's quite heavy. But as my stamina improves, I'm able to carry my baby more.
We go out 2 or 3 times a week. I used to go to indoor programs, but now I prefer being outside. There are many different courses, so it never feels repetitive.
The group moves at a slower pace, making frequent stops to care for the children or take short breaks for diverse sensory experiences. Being in nature goes beyond a simple hobby, offering developmental benefits for their children, while interacting with other families helps children build social skills. For parents, the activity has also helped ease feelings of isolation and postpartum depression. Once seen as an individual leisure activity, hiking is now being redefined by young parents. It is quickly becoming an enjoyable routine for the entire family, offering a unique way to balance between exercise and childcare. The trend is also reflected in the rapid growth of related communities, surpassing 2,000 members just a year and a half after its launch. Won-ju, the founder of the community and a mother of a 26-month-old, first began her journey when she noticed she was showing more signs of exhaustion than joy when parenting at home.
More than promoting outdoor parenting, I want to share the idea that mothers can continue to live as themselves, before and after childbirth, while raising their babies.
What begins as a simple hike is gradually evolving into a broader culture movement, one that blends physical activity, community, and parenting. 조영은, Arirang News. A Korean first-generation female sculptor, even now at the age of over 90 years old, remains an active artist who picks up a chainsaw to create masterpieces. She also has a museum in her namesake on the other side of the world in Argentina. Our Ian-jin gives us a retrospective of Kim Yun-shin's 70 years of sculpting.
This exhibition hall is full of vertical sculptures reaching towards the sky. This sculpture appears to be a stacked structure, but in fact was intentionally carved to give that appearance, representing the sculptor's childhood memories of her mother offering prayers by stacking stones every morning at dawn. Kim Yun-shin has the talent of breathing life back into wood through the process of carving, recognized by the Guggenheim Museum in New York as they recently acquired one of her works from the late 1980s. After majoring in sculpture in Korea, Kim moved to France to study carving further in lithography. Her fascination with the vastness of nature took her to South America in 1983, where she settled. In the early days, she had neither a studio nor materials, and so used discarded wood and worked in the street. Cutting through the tough wood of South America established her unique style of sculpting, using a chainsaw. Without any sketches or preliminary work, Kim Yun-shin observes the grain, shape, and even the smell of the wood for a long time. When the moment strikes and an image comes to mind, she picks up her chainsaw. The ideology of her work is summed up in the title of most of her works. Add 2, become 1. Divide 2, become 1.
There is me, and there is the wood. There are 2 of us, and I work to make us one. It's not that I am determined to do it a certain way. I just let it lead me. Wood is my friend. Nature is everywhere, in every country. Nature is my friend, and I am the same.
In the 1990s, Kim expanded her work from working with wood to showcase stone sculptures. As she moved between sculpture and painting, the unique colors of the South American indigenous people added to her muse. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when there were restrictions on going out, she broke from the boundaries set to separate painting and sculpture by utilizing waste material. Now, the 91-year-old master Kim Yun-shin remains devoted to sculpture as she has been throughout her whole life.
My dream is to create and leave behind even better works while I'm in good health.
The Add 2, Add 1, Divide 2, Divide 1 exhibition will be held at the Hoam Art Museum until June 28th. for visitors to observe an overall glance of Kim Yoon-shin's journey as an artist, connecting South Korea, France, and Argentina. 이은진, Arirang News.
As the popularity of matcha or powdered green tea continues to grow, demand is outstripping supply due to problems caused by the production requirements for the raw materials. An event was held in Jeollanam-do province to deal with these problems and establish brand fidelity. Our Chae-Young has more.
These are the famous green tea fields in Boseong-gun County, Jeollanam-do province. The picturesque fields are the cradle of green leaf tea and various other blended teas and processed products. The symposium on enhancing the competitiveness of the powdered green tea industry was held at the beginning of April to seek answers to problems in production, manufacturing, and distribution of high-quality powdered green tea from Jeollanam-do province. With the ongoing craze for powdered green tea being unabated, the price of the raw material, tencha, the actual green tea leaf, even surpassed the price of similar products in Japan last year.
We are expecting more matcha lovers to begin to decide not only on the producing country, but also the producer, the farm specialty, and the story of the product.
Powdered green tea has been used in various ways in a variety of drinks and bakery products. However, it is not so easy to follow the regulations, making the powder after leaving the green leaves to stand for 20 days, then steaming and drying them before grinding them into a powder.
We are planning to research mainly on setting evaluation qualities for matcha after developing smart cultivation technology.
Currently, research and development are taking place on selecting the appropriate green tea leaf for the sustainable mass production of high-quality powdered green tea. Cha Yoon-kyung, Arirang News.
This is The World Now, bringing you everything you need to know from around the globe. The cruise ship at the center of a deadly Hantavirus outbreak left Cape Verde on Wednesday and is now heading to Spain's Canary Islands. It is expected to arrive in Tenerife in 3 days. 3 more patients have been evacuated from the ship, 2 of them in serious condition. The MV Hondias is carrying nearly 150 people, none of whom are currently showing symptoms of the disease. Spain's health minister said once the ship docks, non-Spanish passengers will be repatriated to their home countries, while the 14 Spanish nationals on board will be quarantined at a military hospital in Madrid. 8 cases in total have been recorded and 5 confirmed by laboratory testing. 3 people have died. The WHO's top epidemic experts said the risk to the wider public remains low and stressed that this is not the next COVID. Israel struck a target in Beirut on Wednesday for the first time since agreeing to a ceasefire with Hezbollah last month. Israel said it was targeting a commander of Hezbollah's elite Radwan force in the city's southern suburbs. Israeli media reported the commander was killed, though neither the IDF nor Hezbollah immediately confirmed it. Lebanon's health ministry said separate Israeli strikes in the south of the country killed 4 more people. Meanwhile, in Gaza, Israeli strikes critically wounded the son of Hamas's top negotiator and killed at least 5 others. In the U.S., Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told congressional investigators he cannot explain why he and his family had lunch on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein's private island in 2012. His answers on Wednesday contradict his past public statements about cutting ties with Epstein years earlier. Lutnick had previously claimed he distanced himself from Epstein around 2005 after an uncomfortable encounter. Justice Department files released in January showed the 2012 island visit and emails showing Lutnick later invited Epstein to a 2015 fundraiser for Hillary Clinton.
Ted Turner, the media mogul who launched CNN, died on Wednesday at the age of 87. He had been diagnosed with Lewy body dementia in 2018. Turner pioneered 24-hour TV news with CNN and built a media empire before selling Turner Broadcasting to Time Warner for $7.3 billion in 1996. In his later years, he devoted his fortune to philanthropy, donating $1 billion to United Nations charities and conservation groups. Chu Ji-hyun, Arirang News.
Light spring rain is expected for the central regions. Rain is expected to move into the central areas later this afternoon, making for a cooler day overall. Rainfall will be light, around 5 millimeters across the central regions and parts of western Jeollabuk-do province. Temperatures will not rise that much this afternoon, with gusty winds keeping conditions on the rather cooler side. And Parents' Day tomorrow looks like it's going to be even breezier than today. And this afternoon, Seoul will be getting up to 21 degrees Celsius. Southern provinces will be under sunnier skies with warmer highs. Daegu getting up to 27 degrees, Daejeon, Gwangju at 24 degrees. Air quality will be normal to good nationwide all day today. Then a few light showers are possible in Gangwon-do province tomorrow. Heading into the weekend, skies will turn mostly sunny again, with temperatures rebounding to spring levels again.
Now that's all we have for today's noon edition of Arirang News. Thank you for watching. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Korea time. Stay tuned.